with a potential return to WWE coming soon and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for August 24th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Talking about his time in WWE with NBC Sports Boston, John Morrison revealed that during his latest run he was supposed to feud with The Miz. We were going to feud, but he missed a couple of Raws before he left for Dancing with the Stars, so that never happened. I don't know if the reason for that is public, but that never happened and that's why I was left in limbo, and then anyway, I don't even want to get into it. With her recently saying she'd be open to making a return to WWE, former women's champion Victoria recalled a time she got an earful backstage over Lita kicking out of her finishing move. I think one time Lita kicked out of the Widow's Peak, and it was Lita, and I got yelled at backstage. I was like, well, if anybody's going to kick out of it, they're like, you never let anybody kick out of your finisher without help or a foot on the ropes or something. I don't remember where or when the match was, I'll be honest with you. It was before the cage match, but I got a lot of heat backstage. On his podcast with Jake Roberts, DDP recalled a conversation he had with the Boogeyman before he met with WWE officials for his Tough Enough tryout, saying he was 40 but looked like he was 28, and blowing everybody away in every trial, and he goes, but I'm 40, what do you think? Should I tell them my real age? What I said was honesty is always the best policy. But you're kind of right on that too. But I don't know, man. The way you look and what you can do, me personally, I'd freaking tell them. The bottom line is, and he didn't, and now he got his license and his ID. They find out he lied to us, and they put him out. They said go, leave. They sent him off, but they brought him in back because they saw something, and so with the closing of NXT UK and the announcement of NXT Europe, William Regal revealed that this has been in the works for years on his podcast. I know that it's been over 10 years that NXT UK was in the thought process. I suppose I can say this. I also know for the last several years that NXT Europe was in process. I'm gonna leave it there. But things changed in the last year and different things. But now things are changing again and things are back on track. So I'm not going to say any more about that. But for any of these people who seem to think that they know what is going on, they don't know. But I know and they don't. They know what they're getting told and I know different. And I don't know anything anymore because I don't work there. And I don't ask. But I know that the expansion of NXT was going to happen. We've been working. I was personally working on that for the last 7 or 8 years until January. I know what I know and I'm not going to say what I know. Whatever happened and whatever nonsense you think about whatever NXT UK was, NXT was a good, safe place for people to work. They got paid a weekly wage check, which they never normally got. They didn't get taken advantage of by promoters promising or holding certain things over them that promoters do. There are people that will say, well, you killed British wrestling. Mate, I'm telling you, you went over there in 2016 for 2 weeks to check out the British wrestling scene, and I found that it wasn't what it was supposed to be. ICW was running a few shows a month, Progress was running 1 or 2 shows a month, Rev Pro was running 1 or sometimes 2 shows a month. I ended up going to All-Star Promotion shows just because I felt bad about not having enough shows to go to. It was a myth that there was all this incredible stuff going on, when really there were companies running a couple of shows a month, but because they were on the internet blowing their own horn and getting themselves put over in whatever form they could get put over, that there was a booming wrestling scene. Whereas when I actually met Pete Dunne and talked to him, he was working at a little working men's club in England because he was one of them that went out and got work off a small promotion. The truth of of it is, Brian Dixon of All Star Promotions, which is the person I used to work for, was running more shows than anybody. And because he doesn't go on the internet and doesn't care about any of that, he was still not the most successful, and was the most successful promoter in British history. It was cobbled together and everyone was blowing their own horn about what they were doing. I know all the people from Progress and ICW, but okay, you're selling out one show in Camden, 700 people or 800 people once a month. When I used to work there, working in the winter, I was working 20 shows a month. So all of these people that buy into all this nonsense are buying into nonsense. There was PCW doing a couple of shows a month. There were companies doing shows, a few shows a month, and it was looking like there was a lot going on. And there was a lot going on for the wrestlers who were booked on all these shows. But for the majority of normal wrestlers, it wasn't what it was cracked up to be. When talking about potential changes that could come to WWE with Triple H being in charge of creative, Ric Flair said on his podcast that part-timers won't be the focus. Triple H looks at the big picture totally different than other people do, than other people have. I don't think he's crazy about the part-time performers. That would be my take on it. As he knows, he worked every day until the day he got more involved in the office, especially in a title role. The title picture. This is just me taking a guess. I think he's going to work towards having people who are champions working more dates. Speaking of Triple H, AEW star Wardlow revealed on Afternoon Drive on the Fan why he's always wanted to face the game. I struggle with this because I can't think of just one. That's hard. That's like asking, what's your favorite song? You have so many favorite songs or favorite movies. Growing up, the villain to all my heroes was always Triple H. I love The Rock, he feuded with The Rock. I love Jeff Hardy, he feuded with Hardy. I love Batista, he feuded with him. There's a part of me that always felt like I would go on to be Triple H's next big feud. One day. I always thought that way. With CM Punk returning to Dynamite last week and seemingly burying Hangman Page with his opening promo, Freddie Prinze Jr. revealed on his podcast that Punk's behavior is to blame for his reported heat backstage. There's two ways to look at it. Either it's work shoot and he's trying to turn heel, or there's real stuff going on and it was receipt time. I happen to know that it's more the latter, and I think he's just trying to take advantage of it and saying, okay, I'll roll with it. But not everyone backstage loves Punk, and it's not just because of Colt Cabana. It's because the way they feel he's behaved since he's got there behind the curtain. It was actually something that Hangman Page said in his promo when they were having their run to the title match. I remember Page said, I'm not just defending this title, I'm defending for all those people back there. A lot of people don't feel like Punk shows anyone respect really, at least not the type of respect. Well, let's change the word because respect is earned. The type of dignity that one would expect at work. When you don't treat people as necessary parts of the pie, and I've seen this in a lot of movies, people look at you a certain way. That's what I've been told as the kind of stuff this is going on. Hangman Page said a lot of real stuff. Given reports of there being issues backstage and problems with morale, announcer for AEW Tony Schiavone fired back at these claims, saying on What Happened When, I enjoy my job, enjoy my responsibilities with the company. They are challenging, but those are challenges that I really accepted when I took the job. I'm seeing a whole new part of wrestling and wrestlers that I didn't see before. Yeah, I think so. There are some challenges, as you know, and of course the internet is going crazy about this or that. I'm not going to get into it because I'm going to say this right now. Things are not as bad as BS people on the internet would say. Not even close to it. We've got some things in place now that I think are going to make us better than ever. Former WWE star No Way Jose has been accused by a promoter of Primo Wrestling in Manitoba of conning him out of a plane ticket to make an appearance for him and took the seat credit for the flight to fly himself to Orlando. Here's the video.
Good morning. My name is Graham Keane. I own Primo's Wrestling in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Last night, we had a show in Winnipeg, and that was supposed to feature former WWE superstar No Way Jose. Now, No Way Jose had informed me yesterday morning that he was going to be late for the show, which happens a lot with international travelers. I've been doing this for 15 years, and I know that some wrestlers can come in late, sometimes as late as getting there for the main event, but we've always got them there. In one instance, I was working a show, not my own, but Carlito ended up coming in at 9 p.m. and still arriving to work the show. So we're going on at 9 a.m. here, and I don't know if he just didn't go to the airport on time or whatever the case was, but we had to book another flight. We booked another flight for him to get here on time. And that one also didn't work out. No Vax Pass or something bullshit or whatever. So then we tried to get him to fly from Seattle, where he was coming from, to Fargo, North Dakota. And my wife was going to drive to Fargo, North Dakota to pick him up, to bring him to the show. So he says, I gotta fly there, and then I gotta drive 3 hours. And I said, yeah, my wife's gonna come pick you up. And that was okay. And everything was all okay. Everything was all okay all afternoon. Everything was all okay all day. And then, halfway through my show last night, I'm wondering where the guy is, whatever. And I get an email from Delta that says the flight has been changed from where he was supposed to go, which was Winnipeg, Manitoba, to Orlando, Florida. So he had cashed in my ticket, took the seat vouchers, which is a no-no. If you're not coming to a show, you give the promoter back their seat credit so they can use it again or something else. So he took my seat credit for over $1,000, flew himself to Orlando for a couple $100, cashed in the rest of the money, and is gone for the weekend to Florida. All on Primo's wrestling dime, all on our fans' dimes who paid to see him. Now, I have not had this level of disrespect in this business from anybody else other than just Incredible in 2009, and he was going through some hard times, and he wasn't in the right place. So that was a little bit of different, and we've given him forgiveness since then. But with No Way Jose kept telling us all day, man, I'm trying to make it, bro. I'm at the airport, bro. It's just not working out. You fucked off, and you went to Orlando. And you killed the show for us. You killed our fans for us. But at the end of the day, you killed it for you, because we're never going to book you again, and we're going to tell all the promoters we know not to book you. So, it's nice that you did that to us, but we're not some small town drawing 20 people promotion here. We had a sold out crowd last night. And no way, I don't even care at this point that you didn't come last night. I care that you stole from me. I care that you stole from my fans. And I care that you lied to me all day. So I hope you see this, because we will be seeing you in court.
Talking about the possibility of Bronson Redd, who was released from the company last summer, making his WWE comeback. Andrew Zarian noted on We're Live, pal, that I've heard one name over the last few weeks, and that's Jonah. Great G1 climax. I talked to a friend over there casually in Connecticut. He's a name. Bronson Redd got the short end of the stick with his positioning. He's very good. He has the size. He had this awesome entrance with the background. I don't know him at all personally. I don't know if anything behind the scenes had happened. Anything beyond that. But I can tell you there are people very interested in him because of his talent, his performance in the G1. He's a name that people are interested in. I don't know what his deal is, but he has come up as a name that I've heard. AEW President Tony Khan has now provided a comment on CM Punk's promo on Hangman Page from Dynamite last week, saying on Busted Open Radio, it's unresolved anger. I think from the world title match at Double or Nothing, we had not really tied up all those issues. CM Punk made one appearance to wrestle after Double or Nothing, and it was immediately after that he got injured and was forced to step away. There was clearly some stuff that never got resolved at Double or Nothing. Then immediately jumped into somebody who has challenged him in not a type of match we've ever had in AEW before. We've had interim championships established, but we've never had an interim world champion or an undisputed world championship match like this. Fightful additionally reported, there is a mandatory talent meeting today at the All Elite Wrestling Dynamite tapings. We're told Tony Khan will be present, but not many details are known beyond that. the talent we've heard from expected to address some of the rumors of unrest, contract inquiries, and personal issues, as well as those things being leaked. However, they've not been given any firm details on what to expect. We'll work to learn details and provide them here. Though the meeting is for talent, there are plenty of talent who weren't brought in for this set of tapings and won't be at the show. When asked whether he feels creatively fulfilled in AEW, CM Punk recently told Sports Illustrated, yes, 100%. You try not to put too much stock in internet rumors, but for AEW, I definitely think that's part of our audience. Twitter's not real life though. On top of that, a lie makes its way around the world twice before the truth puts its boots on or gets out of bed. If I addressed every rumor, I'd be here all day. I love AEW. It's not a competition of who loves it more or who's the heart and soul, or who's this or who's that. AEW allowed me a second chance to do what I do best, and that's professionally wrestle. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.